Let's make the famous boxy bag using pre-cuts, and you will need 2 fat quarters for this project as well as a zipper. But this bag will measure at 9.5 inches long, 5 inches tall, and 4 inches deep. To make the bag, you will need 2 fat quarters, one for the exterior, the second one for the interior. Next, about 17 inches of a nylon number 5 zipper tape. Technically, you only need 15.5 inches, but I like working with a longer piece. Then, of course, you will need a number 5 zipper pull to go with it. And when selecting a zipper pull, if you're going fancy with a design, make sure it isn't large like this wood slice I have, or anything dangly like this large moon. These are better for duffel bags or larger purses, but aim for something smaller to an average size pull. Next, you will need 2 10-inch by 15.5-inch rectangles in fusible fleece. This will give your bag some structure. I like Pellon 987F fusible fleece. You can use batting scraps, but your bag will be extra squishy and not really hold up its shape. You can also use foam, but I personally think it's a bit overkill for this project. Now, depending on your sewing machine's foot, you may want a zipper foot as well. Some machines already come with one, but if you do have a smaller 1/4 inch foot or a smaller footprint in general, you should be okay. Now with your fat quarters, subcut 2 10-inch by 15.5-inch rectangles. Be careful when cutting as you are pretty much using the whole thing. Then from your fat quarters, pick a print and subcut one 2.5-inch by 7-inch rectangle. Then if you are using zipper tape, go ahead and cut a 17-inch strip. Next, iron your fusible fleece onto the back side of your exterior fabric. If you'd like to be fancy, here you can do some custom quilting, but today I'm keeping it basic. Then with the 2.5-inch by 7-inch rectangle, iron it in half lengthwise as if you were creating binding. Then open it and iron the raw edges to the folded iron mark on both sides. Now with those raw edges in the center, fold it again and iron it to press it all together. Next, you will sew 1/8 of a seam allowance away from the edges, and do note that whatever your thread color is, it will be shown. So pick an accent thread color or something that matches. When you're done, take fabric scissors, fold the strip in half, and cut it into 2 3.5-inch long strips. And go ahead and place this off to the side as your pull tabs are now finished. Let's construct the bag now. So first, place your exterior rectangle right side up. Then you will take your zipper tape without the zipper pull and roughly center it and place the zipper teeth down. Lastly, lay your interior fabric with the right side facing down. Line up the fabric rectangle sides together, then pin or use wonder clips to clip the top to hold everything in place. Then using a fabric marking tool, measure 1/2 inch away from the edges on the right and left side. Now you'll go to the sewing machine and sew as close as you can to the zipper, but you will start on that 1/2 inch line that you drew, not the edge. And you will sew all the way down to the opposite side, hitting that 1/2 inch mark and stopping there. You'll backstitch at the beginning and end as well. This step is very important. Do not sew from edge to edge. Once you've sewn everything together, flip your interior all the way around and iron your seams down away from the zipper. Next, on the exterior side, once again measure 1/2 inch on the right and left side. Now we are going to top stitch to hold everything together nicely. When you sew, don't forget to start on that 1/2 inch line, not the edge, and sew to the opposite side 1/2 inch mark. Don't forget your back stitch at the beginning and end, and I like to roughly sew 1/8 of a seam allowance. Now you're going to repeat this same step to the other side of your zipper, but first lay your interior fabric facing up, followed by the piece we just created facing up with the zipper on the top. Make sure to line your sides together. Then lastly, we're going to take the secondary exterior piece and line that up as well, but facing down. Then we will measure a 1/2 inch on the right and left side. Then sew as close as you can to the zipper, making sure you once again start on that 1/2 inch line, not the edge, and then sew to the opposite 1/2 inch mark. Don't forget to backstitch. Once you've sewn the other side together, flip the interior all the way around and iron the seams away from the zipper. Lastly, measure that 1/2 inch on the right and left side and go ahead and create your top stitching. Now that we've sewn everything to our zipper, it's time to put your zipper pull on. And depending on your zipper, this can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. However, the previous steps made it easier without the zipper since you don't have to keep messing with it while you're at the sewing machine. But once your zipper is on, give yourself a little bit of an opening, but keep the teeth closed on both sides. That way we don't lose it. Next, you're going to only take the exterior fabrics and place them right sides together, and the interior fabrics on the opposite side will be right sides together as well. On the exterior side, sew a 3/8 seam allowance, and on the interior side, you will sew a 3/8 seam allowance, however, leaving a large gap in the middle, so that way we can turn everything right side out in the very end. I roughly leave 5 inches, give or take. I kind of eyeball this, but once everything is done, go ahead and press those seams open. Now we will kind of sandwich everything together, and those seams that we just pressed open, you will match that to the center of your zipper teeth. I like to put a clip on the zipper teeth area and then make sure my other side is lined up as well. Then go ahead and pick a side and you'll clip your interior fabric out of the way and then take your zipper tab, fold it in half, and place the loop between the exterior pieces centered to your zipper's teeth. You'll keep the raw edges out and the loop side inside, and I like to clip it to hold everything in place. Now when we go to sew only the exterior side of the fabric, you're going to pull the zipper tape back and out of the way. If your sewing machine can handle sewing through several layers, and I'm talking about the zipper, exterior fabric, and the pull tab, go ahead and sew through it all with a 3/8 seam allowance. Once that side's done, you'll repeat this step to the other side. With the exterior sewn down, we will now repeat the same thing to the interior, but this time with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. But here, if you did not sew the zipper down the first time with the exterior, you will need to do it here. But this side, it is a lot easier since you will only have the zipper and the thin lining fabric. But go ahead and repeat this to the interior side. Afterwards, take a pair of scissors, not fabric ones, and cut the excess zipper tape off. And now we are going to box out our corners. Measuring from your seam allowance and the folded edge, measure 2 1/4 inches away. Once again, this is from your sew line and the fold. You will draw your square with a fabric marking tool and then repeat this to all 4 sides. Then flip it over and repeat the same thing to all 4 interior sides. Now take a pair of fabric scissors and carefully cut on the line that you just drew. Do this to all 8 sides, one at a time, and try not to cut the other side while doing so. Now we're ready to box out our corners. Now I highly recommend doing the exterior side first, as the first 4 corners that we'll do will be the easiest. To do so, you'll pull the corners out, clip them, and sew a 3/8 seam allowance. And do this to all 4 exterior sides first. Now we will repeat the same step to the interior, and out of everything, this part can be the trickiest, as you will kind of need to like smush and mash everything down just to sew the box corners together at the sewing machine. Everything gets kind of bulky here. And if you are new to bag making, do not stress too much about it. It's the interior, so it will be inside the bag and you kind of won't see it. But once all of those corners are done, you're going to birth your bag by pulling everything out through that opening we left on the interior lining. Try not to be rough or you will bust a seam, but use your fingers and also point all of those corners out. Once everything is good, take the lining and either hand stitch it shut or take it to your sewing machine and sew a 1/8 seam allowance. And doing so means you are finally done. Boxy bags are my absolute favorite things to make. We use them all the time and throughout our house. We do have some even stashed away in our cars. But let's not stop here. Here is where you can get extra creative with your exterior fabrics using scraps from quilt projects. Some of my quilt patterns we sadly have leftover 1.5-inch strips. Y'all know I do not like to waste fabric, so I'm going to sew them together side by side until they are 15.5 inches long. Since the fabric strips that I have are also 10 inches long, I could leave this as is, meaning a 10-inch by 15.5-inch rectangle for one of those exterior sides of a boxy bag, but I like to have a scrappy strip set to both sides of my bag. So what I'm going to do is square everything up and cut 2 equal pieces out, which are 4.5 inches wide by 15.5 inches long. You can do 5 inches wide if everything is lined up. Mine is a little crooked, so I went with the smaller number. But that's the fun part of scrappy versions, as there are no rules when you're creating your exterior pieces. But since my rectangle is 4.5 inch wide, I need to add to it to yield a 10-inch wide piece. You could use scraps from your backing fabric from previous quilts, and if you have enough, you could also use the scraps from your backing for the interior and your pull tabs. But since our pull tabs were made with 2.5-inch by 7-inch strips, this means you can also use a leftover piece from your binding, since we make 2.5-inch wide binding strips. So you get where I'm going here? You can utilize a lot of your scraps for these boxy bags, or if you want, you can get a little fancy and use cork fabric, vinyl, leather, clear vinyl, denim, just about anything. I am using cork here for this scrappy version. But here are some other exterior pieces that I have made. I have one with a fake peach faux leather, brown cork, and a black cork. All of the scraps are from my previous quilt pattern, which I've sewn together randomly. But I do hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. If you could please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for your next amazing quilt project.